Warning, there will be spoilers in this video, although there will be some spoiler-free stuff in here as well. Welcome back to another video, and this one is all about Fright Nights 2019, of course, at Thorpe Park, and this is my review on the full event. I just want to quickly say that I've been drained on video ideas recently, and well, hence why I'm not uploading as much, and I've just kind of been trying to get back into it. I have a few more videos lined up, but I felt like they wouldn't work at this kind of time, so I thought, why not do a Fright Nights review? I would have wanted to go to the actual event a few more times to experience the mazes a bit more, have a few more runs on each of them, but I have had at least one run on all of them, and most of them I've had more than one, so we'll just judge it on that. And of course, this is my opinion, so not all, unless I'm talking about theming and whatnot. Scare wise, anything I mentioned could change on your run if you do go to the event. So you've obviously got 5 main scare mazes, a few other things around the park as well, and then Amity High, which I will be honest, I haven't actually watched it in person. I've seen videos of it, but if you count going on stealth and hearing the music for a split second, then launching and seeing some of the lights to your left, then yeah, I'll take it as watching it. So I will be giving a non-spoiler review right at the end of just general the whole event, and of course like the mazes as a whole, not spoiling anything, hence why it's called a I'm stupid. But yeah, I will give that at the end of reviewing all the mazes, so if you want to skip to that and avoid spoilers now, then there will be a time on screen and in the description. So I'll start with the weakest one at the event this year, in my opinion, of course, and that was Blair Witch. I was a bit disappointed with this one, considering I went in with quite high expectations, because last year, if you see my review on that, it wasn't the best, it was quite short. Now the actors did a really good job as always, but it was very short, and this year they'd extended this one, so I was thinking this might actually be pretty good. But it turns out this year's extension is just a bunch of dead ends, because if I'm being honest, I like the idea of getting lost in the woods, which they tried to do, but it does end up becoming a bit, where are we going? And then you just end up backing into dead ends and stuff. And then, well, I got no scares in that entire lost in the woods section, so again, was a bit disappointed. I must have had an awful run on it, but again, this is just my experience. You may have, well, you probably will have a better run than I did. I probably will do it like once again, and if I do, I probably will have a better run. But as I'm saying, you will probably have a better run if you do go through it yourself. As I said, I like the idea of it. They've utilised the old layout of it before, with all the ducking section and the end building and whatnot. That bit was really good. But yeah, I just didn't really get many scares at all. As I said, like the idea of getting lost in the woods, because it kind of puts the Blair Witch feel onto it, but it didn't really work for my run on it, I guess. So, not to say the actors did a bad job, they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time for me. Obviously, a lot of other people probably had a better experience on that run than I did, because I don't even know where I was just lost. Funny that. Then we have Living Nightmare, one of the 2 Walking Dead mazes at this year's event, and it is, I'd say, on par with how good it was last year. They have updated the ending, and it kind of, you walk into like this bush area that's got a load of leaves hanging, and you just walk in, it's really dark, and then you just get a load of actors coming up to you with their fingers over their lips telling you to be quiet or whatnot. So it's a bit weird, but it works, and I got quite a few good scares in there, because there was about 4 actors in that one bit. But other than that, if you've seen my review on Fright Nights in general, I can't remember whether I did Living Nightmare or not, because I remember I did it previously in the year, not at Fright Nights, but it's as good as it was last year. The layout's exactly the same, the themes pretty much stayed the same, the story of it stayed the same, and I got some good scares, and it probably has one of the weirdest safety announcements ever to breach the earth. On to the second Walking Dead maze, which is Do or Die, which is in the prior place of Bountzilla. Do or Die was there last year, 2018's event, but this year it is a lot better than it was last year, and it's a very strong maze this year. Got a lot of scares in there. The theming has been upped completely. It's just a lot better, higher quality and everything. The storylines pretty much stayed the same. You've got the school bus, which really annoyed me because I made a Fright Nights update and I said the bus isn't there, maybe that's changed, and it literally came the day after I uploaded it, so that's brilliant. But yeah, the maze as a whole, it utilises more of the containers this time, which is really good. There's a lot of kind of narrow corridors and stuff, which again is really good as well, and I just really enjoyed it as a maze this year. Anyway, on to Platform 15, which was previously my favourite maze of all time. Technically I'd still call it that because I still love the idea of it. I love how you're kind of going along that Sleeper Express track type thing, and you come across the house and then you go through it, and it's really eerie around that point. There's a lot of effects and stuff, and then you go through that tunnel at the end and it's again really eerie, and then you reach the end and you meet the conductor or whatnot. That's the basic gist of it, but it's got even better this year. Honestly, they've changed the story and they've changed the ending, and that's it. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is quite a big improvement. So the main story now is that you kind of walk down this train line of the Sleeper Express, which is the train that used to go down there. Obviously, like, it's not real, but yeah, it is real. Oh my god. And then obviously you make your way around to the house, and that bit is really good as well. Quite a few good scares in there, and once again, actors are literally jumping all over the place and running across the floor and everything. It's pretty crazy. And then you've got the tunnel, which on one run, although it was daytime so it wasn't completely pitch black, I was at the front, which is brilliant. And then of course, once you kind of go through that tunnel, you reach the end and you walk into this room, and this is the bit I'm kind of debating whether I like or not, because the time, I think I've done it 3 times, Platform 15 so far, 2 in the day, 1 in the night, and every time the ending's been different. So the first time was really good, and there was this guy who's like in the middle of the tunnel, and he was just like to the front of our group, oh, I'm joining up with you because I don't know where my group's gone. And then we got to the end, and the actor in, like, the conductor at the end was like, are you okay? And then the guy who apparently joined our group, which actually was an actor, starts turning into, yeah. And then other times it's just been kind of through a window, some other like passenger trying to make us laugh or something, and then the conductor just kills them, or it was a bit kind of different every single time I did it, which I guess is a good thing, but I would love if it stayed all the time as that first ending, because when you don't know that person who apparently joined onto your group is an actor and they start retaliating at you, it's a good scare. You might not get that ending, but for me, that ending that I had on that first run that I ever had on it was brilliant. The other runs, the ending wasn't so good, but you know, maybe they were just low on actors, or the actor wasn't there, maybe on break or something, I'm not too sure. But as I said, every single maze, if I had a bad experience or whatnot, the actors that were in there were doing a great job, so credit to them. Anyway, time for the one that I know is probably the most highly regarded this year, and that is Creek Freak Massacre, the new for this year maze. My god, this thing is intense. They said it was their most intense. I wouldn't say, I haven't done many Fright Nights events, but I wouldn't say it's their most intense. You go over to the queue line where Loggers Leap is, and well, was, because it's basically, it's rotting right now, so it's not coming back. But yeah, that's where your queue line is. There's some really weird views of Saw, because obviously a lot of people, well, no one's really been over there since Loggers Leap closed. There you go, you just queue in that kind of back and forth section. That is a bit clustered, but again, they can't do anything about that. And then you go in, you queue as a group, to go into the door to enter the maze. And once you're in there, you can already hear loud noises, banging, and just screams from everywhere. And then the pre-show area kind of happens. This actor just talks to you for a bit about Goodwood and Badwood. Funny enough, I've done it 3 times, I think, and every single time I've been put through the Goodwood door. So I am Goodwood. Don't even mess with me. So the other Badwood section, you have to crawl through this tunnel and then go into the maze that way. And then Goodwood, you kind of just go down a long corridor, turn left, and you kind of end up in the same place. And then you go into the maze, which from there on out, it's pretty insane, because you literally just get actors jumping out at you from every corner, every single corridor. It's insane, and a lot of people get isolated by an actor, like they take you. There's 2 strobe rooms. One's like a yellow strobe that's not so bad, and the other's at the end, which is insanely strobe. It's just more than a strobe effect. It's literally just a strobed strobe. There's one room where there's an actor lying on some stage, and there's a chainsaw that literally just, well, a saw blade that literally just cuts into them. Obviously there's a few more corridors. There's quite a few different bits where actors will just jump out at you from corners and stuff. There was one bit where you're walking down that heated corridor, and there's literally an actor who jumps up on the walls and just stands above you while you have to walk under him to get past, while he's trying to like swing like an axe or something at you. It's insane. And then you go into that final strobe room, which you can't see a thing. On my first run, I didn't know really what to expect of the entire maze itself. I've only seen really the ending and the start. And that ending, even though I knew what it kind of looked like from POVs that come out on the day before the media event, honestly, you couldn't see a thing in there. There was some guy with a chainsaw revving it up, so you were like, how do I get out of here? And then once you get out, you go through the flaps, you're like, okay, I'm out. You go round, and there's a guy with a chainsaw standing in the corner, and then he chases you out. But honestly, it's such a good maze. It's, especially for Thorpe Park, the theming is on point, and the actors in there are amazing, as with every other maze. As I said, I didn't get to do Feared 5 challenge, although I literally went on all the coasters after 5 PM and I just didn't scan it. But I do know you get a wristband, so if you want to do that, you can. You can sacrifice about 5 minutes of your life to scan QR codes to get a wristband. I might actually do it, to be fair. But yeah, overall, we're back. Welcome back to the people who have just come from the non-spoilers. Because if you don't want to see spoilers, then you're here now. But yeah, this event, it's much improved on last year. Last year was more quantity over quality, and this year is a lot more quality over quantity. Some mazes, well, one maze in particular wasn't as good as I expected, but the rest of the mazes, including Creek Freak, Platform, like Do or Die, such good mazes. And honestly, if you can get yourself down to Thorpe Park Fright Nights this year, I do recommend it, because it is insane. Platform 15, much better than last year, along with Do or Die, which is really good as well. Blair Witch is a lot longer than last year, and I did have a pretty bad run on it, so if you do go there, don't take my word for it, but I didn't enjoy it that much because of my run. Living Nightmare's been improved, and of course Creek Freak Massacre exists now, which is probably my favourite maze that I've done. But don't take that in mind, because I haven't done many mazes at all, so yeah, I'm not one to really speak about. Favourite maze is this, because it's so amazing. I found Platform 15 better than the Big Top. Deal with it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this Fright Nights review. If you did, you can subscribe to the channel if you'd like to, and also if you did enjoy it that much, you can leave a like, it'd be much appreciated. And also, thank you to Theme Park World Tour for letting me use his footage of Creek Freak Massacre and Platform 15. Links in the description and in the top right now. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you want to leave your Fright Nights reviews in the comments, you can. Just make sure not to spoil it for people who haven't been on the mazes. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.